I got the pattern done. I put up pictures of the dolls wearing the shirts on Instagram with a link on Instagram to my sewing blog where I have the pattern, which I also put below, and now I'll show you the dolls and the shirts. Okay, the super basic version of the shirt is this one. You see that is one solid piece in the front, no seams, decorative or otherwise, on the side. And I don't know, I have not been able to tell if my pictures have been able to show how this cloth has sparkles in it. This is cloth from a thrift store grab bag of cloth. And then there's the front with, it's called the three-part front because it's one center part and two parts on the side. And that is this one. This is on an older articulated fashionistas type body. It has the belly button size body, belly button Barbie size torso, which is roughly the torso size. It's called original now. There are differences, which is why it's very annoying that that one is called original, because it's not. But it's close. So this is uncurvy. You can see it has the side seam, so this version is fun to do print mixing on. And I put this in my instructions, and I'll go ahead and say it, is if you're hesitant about print mixing, don't worry. If you sew it together, it goes together. I used to put a lot of effort and time into thinking, all right, you can have a floral, a geometric, or a figural. And any floral will go with any figural, any floral will go with geometric, and any geometric will go with any figural. But you can't mix florals and florals, geometrics and geometrics, or figurals and figurals. And it's even better if you get the colors, and if you have the cut. But eventually I got to the point where I could just pull stuff at random out of my cloth and sew it together, and it would look fine. So, if you sew it together, it goes together. You can have great reasons for it, or you can have no reason at all, and unless you tell people that you had no reason at all or great reasons, they're going to assume actually that you had an idea, that you had something in mind when you put them together. Like this, I just chose because there's lots of areas of white. But also, for my old rules, this is a figure in the middle because it's a raindrop, it's a recognizable thing, and this is geometric, so. And also, to my old rules, this is a kind of a pinkish peach, and that's green, and pink and green are complements, so those work together. But that's the thing, humans are so great with pattern recognition that you can grab any two prints at random and then figure out why they go together, even if you had no idea when you grabbed them. At least my brain likes to do that. So that's the three-part front. And then there's the four-part front with bias raw-edged ruffle, which is this one. I did not remember to write instructions about the possibility of putting the center panel on the bias itself, but as you can see, it is a possibility. I finally decided to do the ruffle with a raw edge. I mean, I did not try it. This was my original attempt at the ruffle when I thought it was too narrow, and I made it wider, but I thought that the hem to edge was too bulky. Plus, I used the rolled edge hammer thingy. This, it's when you put the edge of the cloth into it, it automatically swirls it over and folds it over, and then it sews through the fold, so it gives a nice narrow hem. And I know a lot of people don't have those. And I didn't want to try it just sewing it and folding it over, so I finally said, you know, raw edges are trendy. I'll just give the raw edge option. And when you cut it so that the raw edge is on the bias, this is all the more it will fray. Because, again, that's one of the weird properties of bias. But then I had also the idea that you could make this out of lace, because that would also not have the bulky edge. But at that point, I was getting kind of tired of making this shirt, and I didn't want to deal with more ruffles and the lace that I wanted to use. I only had a little bit left, so I applied that flat. So that's this one, this version. This is the three-part front. You can see there's the seam, or the four-part front. There's a seam on that. There, I just thought it looked better tucked in. And this lace is not gathered, it's just applied flat. It is cut out by the pattern piece, so it's wider at the top and narrows down toward the bottom. Although about a ½ inch was cut off the bottom, so it's not too narrow at the bottom. But, so that's the idea for applying lace flat in this shirt. And it also occurred to me, you could also add the ruffle on here, but I did not add pattern pieces for that. You would either extend this ruffle like maybe an inch if you want to put a ruffle on the 3-part front, or you extend it like a 1/4 inch and then you can apply flat lace on this. Like I said, this is just tucked in. It does not have, it's not like this one where it's tucked in but it has a secret. This is just the 2 seams and tucked in, no further seam. And this doll has a vintage knockoff body, so she's a little broader than across the bust and shoulders than an original Barbie body is these days. And she has the old gymnast style body, so she's a little closer to pre-1999 bodies in the bust. All the superstar bodies a little bit slimmer than the older Barbie bodies, but still it's larger than the fashionistas / original type. So this shirt I think fits better on the slightly larger bodies like Curvy and the pre-1999 bodies, but it's not bad on these. And I did write in my instructions that you could even take the side seam, make the side seams wider so it's a closer fit, but I have not tried that yet because, like I said, I was getting kind of tired of sewing this. So now that's out of my system. I am free to move on to starting another pattern. I have some ideas about which one I want to do yet. I just haven't started it because I want to take a little break on that. And then I thought I would have nothing else to show you but Fire Spirited / Safi had this whole odd situation a few years ago that ended up with having about 50, 60, or 70 fake fur Monster High size wigs to sell. So I bought some of those from her and they arrived. I got them they arrived, what, Monday? I just didn't get them out of the mailbox until Monday evening. So they're Monster High size, and you know I don't have many Monster High dolls. I do have dolls with slightly larger heads. Like I tried this 2-color fake fur wig on this Create Flower Princess head. It was the Starry-Eyed Bride, and the rhinestones fell out, so that's why her eyes might look a little odd. This is from Kate's Creations. So it's a little big on this head because, again, it is made from Monster High, but it fits fairly well, fairly snug. It's not glued on, and it's a good enough fit. So I don't know if I will leave it on this head, but it's just for illustration purposes. So I looked around for other dolls I had whose either had no hair or whose hair I wasn't too keen on to see who could also benefit from one of these wigs. One of the first dolls I grabbed, I had just been using her for the fit model while I was working on these. So she'd been sitting around in my pile of cloth and stuff over there with no clothes, no hair, no face. And I tried wigs on her and I actually liked them all on her, but this is what I went ahead and glued on. This is a Betty Teen face that I don't know if you can see in the video. I have kind of sketched in that I want her to be side glance and kind of sketched in where eyebrows are going to be, but kind of not. So I don't know when I will paint her, but I'm more likely to paint her now that she has some floofy hair. And I did glue the wig on so it can be styled without coming off. Because like I said, this is a Monster High size. It does fit fairly well though on big head Barbie type bodies though. But then another doll I grabbed who had been wearing this wig, which is stolen off of a porcelain doll. That's why that's all the wig cap is. And her original wig was also brown, but a nicer brown and really, 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 really long. Which long hair and brown hair, you know, are not my styles. Now, who knows in the future? Who knows? I mean, in the past I would have liked it, in the future I might like it, but right now I'm more about short pink hair. So the doll is this Hestia. I forget which one this was. I don't think she's ribbon, she's the other one. That Eric sent. So I gave her, I have this wig up a little bit, styled somewhat. I'm not super used to fur wigs, so I'm not super used to styling them, but I know they can be styled and cut. Safi posted a picture. She's actually been using this wig on some versions of this wig. Like I said, she had a lot on some of her dolls, and she has cut them and styled them. So I might do that eventually. But I do like her better with anything but brown hair. I'm not sure if she will keep these eyes because, like I said, I'm also not a huge fan of blue eyes. There's a lot of blue I love in the world. Blue eyes are fine. but you don't need my love. There's a lot of blue I love out there. I'm kind of rambling, yes. So for now, this is where she is, but this is, like I said, I like her a lot more than when she had brown hair. So this is probably more thought I put into one of her outfits that she's worn since I've gotten her too. So that's her. And then another doll. This is one of the Ideal Misties that Deb sent. And she sent two. One I still have on the original body, proper. And one I'd taken the head off and adapted it to fit a live body. And her hair was nice. Really nice for a doll that age, but kind of crispy, kind of thick, kind of blonde. I need to cough, hold on. So I thought, well, she has a slightly larger head than Barbie. Maybe she could wear one of the wigs. So I chose this wig for her. And this is and yes, this is not one of my bodies without hands. She does have hands. It's just sloppy look. So even though her makeup is still completely stock, I think having her on the live body, and especially with this ridiculous colorful wig, really does change her attitude a lot. I haven't taken pictures of these dolls. I actually just finished dressing them before I start the video. So I will get pictures of them up. Who knows if I get them up before the video's up, but you'll see them one way or another. So yeah, it's her stock paint. I might have touched it up a bit, but it's overall in really good condition. So I have one of these dolls completely stock, and this is obviously the one I've been messing with. Even if she doesn't keep this wig and get a reroute someday, this still is giving me ideas that I will like her with anything but the original hair. I do like the original hair, like I said, that's why I kept one of them stock. And then another doll, this is the last, I got 5 wigs. The last doll that I put a wig on is with that little doll that I dyed green, and her head, arms, one of the Kate's Creations dolls, and her head, arms, and legs were soft, so they took the green dye beautifully, and I airbrushed her torso, and it's not the doll that I kept dropping in her torso and legs and everything, just the paint just fell off of. And I showed her, I think I showed her to you last week, the week before, and I just had her in a Barbie shirt that didn't really fit, because I was like, I wasn't enthusiastic about her, and it's like, I don't have shoes for her, I don't want to bother to sew for her, but I realized that what I didn't like was her long brown hair. So I might reroute her someday, but until then, she's wearing this wig. And as you can see by how she's not just wearing a shirt that doesn't fit her, I mean, honestly, she made me think of a house elf. She has more stuff now. The hair, I mean, I obviously like her a lot more with the different hair. And I even found out that I do have a pair of shoes that somewhat closely fits. I mean, her actual foot is, you know, not anywhere near the end, but they're closer to fitting. So the fact that I played around with her more, took some time, found shoes that fit, found leggings. I'm not even sure what doll these pants are originally for. I thought they were just cropped leggings on Barbie size, but maybe they're for a smaller doll. So they actually, her belly hangs out on her. So yeah, I got the shoes, got the pants, and took the time to find coordinating clothes so it actually looks like a coherent outfit to fit her, all because I like the hair better. I'm tempted to draw little tusks around her mouth to make her like a little baby orc, but I don't know. I don't know. So that's what I've done with dolls this week. Not a lot, but not a little. Maybe in the middle. And also included with the wigs, Sappy did send this lovely piece of purple stretch knit metallic, which will be a good size to do something with dolls. I would really like to maybe combine it with this, which is also a stretch knit with like lace bonded to it. I got this from the Doll Person Stash, and I like those together. Of course, the other thing from the Doll Person Stash, about the same size, was this. It's not quite the same purple, but it's close. So who knows when I'll figure out what to do with this, but when I do, I'll show you. And I really do. I don't know if you heard the dog bark. Our neighbors have a Great Pyrenees, which they let stay staked in the yard all day. And if you know anything about Great Pyrenees, they are enormous herding dogs. So he's quite happy to tell the whole neighborhood what to do. Although all the Great Pyrenees I've met before are also big sweeties, but I haven't gotten close to him, just in case he's not. So yeah, I am rambling. I'm talking about neighborhood dogs and not dolls. So we'll see what I have next week. Thanks for watching.